Hello everyone, this is Persephone, and one of the things I like doing the most in this scene is helping and mentoring new goddesses who want to start and help them with challenges they are going to face in findom in general. So this video is a request from one of the people that I'm really happy to know and appreciate, Mythic Bits. Thank you for submitting this request. I think it's a great idea. And she asked me, how can you deal with depression in findom? So if you are not a sex worker, because for me findom is a form of sex work, I think you are going to still benefit from a lot of the things I'm going to say here, because there are some specific challenges when you do findom that may lead to depression, but overall the causes are the same for most of the people who are depressed. This is all my personal opinion. You are not going to find it anywhere else, so you are free to debate under in the comment section. Comments like you are a whore, get cancer and all of that, they are going to be blocked, and I'm going to start calling your mother a goat who failed to raise you, to be polite. Okay, let's start. First of all, depression itself is not a bad thing. Many people demonize it and like, oh my god, my life would be so much better if I wasn't depressed, or oh my god, how can I deal with this problem? Depression is not a problem. Now you're going to say, okay, Persephone, like, are you trolling us on this video? Is depression a good thing? No, it's a neutral thing. Neutral because depression is a symptom. A symptom of what? A symptom of anger that has been internalized. You have been angry, something made you really angry. For various reasons that we're going to examine, you weren't able to externalize or channel this anger, and it ended up manifesting as a depression. I have this semi-conspiracy theory, but it's actually reality, that most people and most societies have this agenda to make you dumb, fat, broke, a loser, and suicidal. So a lot of the things that you are experiencing are part of this plan. And I'm going to tell you exactly step by step, you won't even have to think, just take notes, what to do to get out of this mess. What makes most people depressed? Because like I said, people are not different. What's your problem today is most of people's problem. One very major reason is poverty. That's why I'm always laughing so hard where people are saying, consider counseling, consider going to therapy. I'm in Greece right now, hopefully not for long, but I'm going to tell you Greek prices, and I would be very interested to write me the prices from your countries. First of all, public free therapy here happens once every 3 months. If you are completely broke, like making zero money, once every 3 months, you have the right to walk into a counselor's office who is burned out to the point that you cannot imagine. He doesn't even know who you are. He barely talks to you. He prescribes some Xanax and you are out on your way. And they tell you come back in another 3 months. So obviously you cannot be even remotely helped by this type of crap. There is a lot of psychologists who are people with no actual medical training whatsoever, and scammers who are going to talk to you and say shit to you that they don't work and waste your time. That being said, I believe a lot in psychiatry and in medicine, both Eastern and Western, but this costs. Because you know something, when there is a doctor here in Greece and he knows the situation and he knows that the public system is not going to help you, he ends up ripping you off. And before you say, Persephone, aren't doctors supposed to help us? The doctor's first priority is not to help you. His first priority is to make money and establish his career and then to help you. Also, I've been married to a psychiatrist and he has told me that most of the cases, they know that your depression is a result of abuse. We're going to go in that really soon. So they know they can't really do anything unless the abuse ends. So a therapy session with a middle-range psychiatrist is around $50 for 45 minutes. For a top psychiatrist, it could be $150 to $200. So when you are broke and someone recommends counseling or depression, I laugh. In most countries, because I have German relatives, I have American relatives, it's even more expensive. So now that is out of the way, what are you going to do? You have to help yourself. I believe in taking matters into your own hands when it comes to your sex life, when it comes to your money, when it comes to your profession, when it comes to your freedom. Don't trust anyone. Trust yourself. So in this case, let's say you are poor. First of all, how poor? There is the huge poverty where you can't afford to pay bills, you can't afford to buy food, and this puts insane stress on you. That stress causes depression, living paycheck to paycheck, not knowing if you're going to have a roof over your head tomorrow. I have many people messaging me who are extremely broke, who are telling me I don't even have internet. I don't have steady internet to stream porn. This is a very normal symptom. When you live like that, which is a life worse than a stray dog, of course you're going to be depressed. We can cure this by making money. So this is a depression that your solution to that is money. And the people who say money don't buy happiness, I'm going to tell you, they say that to the broke masses so that they won't riot. If I take one of the broke people now and I pay a 5-star hotel for them and I pay an awesome meal for them and beautiful clothes and take them out to have a fun night, isn't their depression going to be at least a bit better? What did I do for them except spend for them? So whoever is here to write, you're going to hell, depression is not cured by money, it's cured by happiness and friends, go to some other of the many fake channels. We are black-pilled reality here, we are hardcore, I don't have time for your bullshit. Directly connected to financial caused depression is abuse, and specifically financial abuse. Most of the people who do findom, who do sex work, who do jobs they hate, they don't do it because they want to. I consider myself an exception because I came up from a very fucked up upbringing, very unusual upbringing, and I ended up having a revenge mission and a revenge list, and because my family, although they have money, they're not going to exactly sponsor my revenge list plan, I have to do it myself. But most people do it for more normal reasons, which is they don't have enough money because someone is abusing them. I know many girls specifically, but also guys, because now cam boys are a fairly common thing, that either they have very broke loser parents or abusive parents who steal their money. And I don't need to go away to say that Kim's mother who stole $15,000 from us in credit cards. So when this happens, when you have an abuser, usually he doesn't just steal your money, but he's also sabotaging you in other ways. And those ways end up making you very, very depressed. And all of the advice you're going to listen, like take bubble baths, go outside, like bitch, your problems aren't going to be solved by taking walks outside. If that was a thing, the world would be a paradise and we wouldn't have problems. Okay? So skip all of that stupid advice and let's get to the core. You have to out-bully your abuser. Your depression is a result by the fact that you're angry at the abuse that is happening right now to you and you can't take action. By taking action doesn't mean going Elliot Rodgers and starting a mass shooting, okay? That's toxic form of action because you're going to end up dead or in jail. I'm saying you need to take action to remove the abuser from your life. I want you to understand something. Abusers don't change. You can't reason with a narcissist. You can't reason with a toxic person who is constantly bringing you down. You can't reason with someone that has an agenda that works against you. I don't give two fucks if that someone is your birth mother. I don't give two fucks if that someone is the person that it was your friend for 20 years. If you are depressed and they are not part of the solution, they are part of the problem. They have to go. And how do they go? Again, you have to out-bully them. By out-bullying them, I'm saying that you're going to decide right here, right now to be angry. There is so much anger shaming. I've been doing so many crazy shit online for years and years and years. You have no idea. I've been doing so many crazy shit in my real life. I have been shamed for being a very angry, enraged person more than whatever else they tried to shame me for combined. Every day I get insults about the fact that I'm angry. You know why that happens? Because anger is power. If you allow yourself to be angry, if you allow yourself to get enraged and you channel all that into a form of action, you're going to be free. It's better if you are not free, if you are depressed, and eventually you start blaming yourself. So I'm going to tell you something. It's very, very legit and right to blame other people for your problems. If there is someone right now who is making your life miserable, it's okay to blame him. I don't believe in the bullshit that people say that your life is your responsibility. Not always. I'm going to tell you an example from my pay pigs who have small penises. A lot of those penis disorders are hormonal disorders, which means if you had a good mother and a good father and they saw that you're entering puberty and you don't grow up normally, you remain 2 feet tall and your penis is 1 inch, they should have taken you to a doctor to get hormonal treatment by a doctor, not steroids. I'm talking about actual medical treatment. And maybe you would have been normal today. A lot of the short men who message me and they say, I can't find a girlfriend and I'm depressed. I'm too short, no one likes me. That may be a result of your bad diet. That may be a result of the extreme stress you experienced as a child. So start blaming those motherfuckers for your problems. If you can't say it to their face, could be dangerous to say it to their face, maybe they're psychos, you can say to yourself and you're going to start being angry. Okay? It's not going to be to your disadvantage to be angry. It's a superpower. So today, instead of being depressed, you're going to start being angry. Why is your life here? Why are you so miserable? What did you do? In extreme cases, and I'm going to mention Greece again, or Russia, or Balkans, or China, or if you are from an American redneck white trash area, your own country could be working against you. Okay? What do I mean by that? People say to me, Persephone, you're just a lazy whore, you can't get a job, you should have gotten a job, you should have gone with your Russian ex back in Russia because you are half Russian after all and all of that. The average salary in Russia, and I say this having a master's degree, I'm not uneducated, I speak English and I write English at fluent levels, I don't care if you don't like my accent, I've worked as a translator, I've worked even as medical translator, so the average salary is $400 a month. With findom, I can make $700 a day most of the days, $800. I've even had $1,000 days. So this brings us to the next point that is very directed to findom and sex work. Findom and sex work shaming. People are going to come to you and they're going to say, how dare you? How dare you make money showing off your body on Twitter? How dare you make money using dildos, insulting men, whatever. I always say to those people, you know something, my electricity bill this month is $700. It is, I could show the paper to you. And the salary here is $600. Do the math. Supposedly if I worked here as a normal person, and that was my only income because I have many systems to make money, I would be able to barely buy food and I wouldn't have electricity, I wouldn't have internet. So, do you have a solution for me to actually live as a human being? They stare at me, guys. They look at me with deer on the headlight eyes. You have to understand something. People are not equal. Whoever says to you that people are equal is bullshitting you. Opinions aren't equal. If you are okay with an abuser, if you are okay with someone being abused and you tell them just shut the fuck up and die because essentially that's what you're telling them, you're inferior. That has nothing to do with your age, that has nothing to do with your race. There are people who are inferior, and usually people who are inferior, they're also fake. They don't tell you to your face, you don't deserve to live. They are going to tell you things that deep down they also know they don't work to shame you and prevent you from getting out. Okay? People say, why are so many Russian women doing sex work? Why are so many Ukrainian women doing sex work? Why do they try to get out of their countries? Because people don't want to live worse than the stray animals. Okay? You can't survive with the money that are being provided in those countries with normal means. Of course, there is a way to survive if you work 3 jobs, you're going to burn out your health, end up with cancer, you're going to be abused in your work, you're going to be mercilessly sexually harassed in your work, or you could be too young. You are 19 and you want to go to college and your parents won't pay for your college because they're white trash. And yes, I'm white and I use the term white trash. I use the term gook trash and people say you're a racist. I'm not a racist. Some people are trash. It's just a society doesn't like to hear it. So you're going to, from now on, consider those people inferior and start disregarding their opinion. Again, you don't have to say to them, although I say they have no problem when the occasion calls for it, you don't have to do what I do. It's extreme. You can say to yourself, I'm always going to consider valid opinions, the opinions from people who matter. For example, my opinion. Do you know why? Because I want you to live well. I want you to have good food. I want you to live in a place where no one can come to slap you. No one can come to emotionally put you down. If you can get your own business going, if you can get a good job and you like your job, I'm very supportive of it. If you can't, and you need to do findom or sex work or any other job to get out of an abusive situation, you go out there and you do that. And if you want someone's permission, take my permission. Okay? A lot of depression is connected to this level of toxic shame. You shouldn't be ashamed for trying to survive. You shouldn't be ashamed for wanting to live as a human being as much as other privileged human beings are living. So the people who are going to say to you, why are you like this? They are on the side of the abuse and the enabling of abuse and the toxicity. Ditch those people. In 2019, ditch those people. If you watch this video 200 years from now, let's say, still my advice would be the same. Ditch those people. Okay. There is so much sabotage in this world that if I was going to advise you one thing to fix your life, that would be whoever makes you feel bad, even if you can't exactly pinpoint why, just ditch them or out-bully them out of your life. Another part very important to depression. You can't be happy when you eat trash. I know that this is very hard when you are poor or when you don't have a lot of money, but unfortunately you have to grind it until you have enough money. No junk food. Try to eat as the least processed food you can afford. Okay, I know so many people who act self-destructively. I know cam girls that they made $500 in one day. I know a girl that she made $500 in one day on Saturday and she went to buy a ton of Taco Bell. Don't do that. Okay, there are some days that if you like junk food that much, you can treat yourself. But too much junk food causes hormonal imbalance. And hormonal imbalance is a reason for depression, although we usually underestimate it, but it's very, very serious. Another thing that you could be having depression is specific medication. I used to have a problem with my stomach and I used to take specific stomach medication, like I think it had metoclopramide inside. I'm not sure what was the name, but it made me so depressed, so suicidal. And when I stopped it, the symptoms lifted. So if you take any kind of meds right now, I want you to check the side effects and consult your doctor to see. There is a chance even the most innocent looking medication could be making you depressed. Okay, but this still falls in the realm of mainstream advice. I don't want to talk too much about it because it has been said and talked to a lot. I'm going to tell you like things that you're not going to see somewhere else. Okay, that let's say the worst case scenario, you're broke, you're being abused, no one is there to give you money, you're being shamed. Expect the worst. Expecting the worst is something that has also been demonized because it's a superpower, and if you do it, you're going to be a free person. Expecting the worst doesn't mean being a Debbie Downer or being a toxic person or being a complainer. It means, like you are a soldier before battling monsters, you expect to see monsters. But you're ready, you're tough, and you're saying, bring it on, bitch, come on, bring it on. Do your worst, I'm going to take you down. Whatever is going to come out to fight me, I'm going to take you down. Make your resolve. And your resolve means horrible things are going to come down and you're fine anyways. That's what I mean, a badass way of expecting the worst. Don't count that people are going to be nice. Don't count that people are going to just leave you alone. I've been getting hate comments from people that I would never expect why someone would bother to say these things, and yet they say them. The more successful you're going to be, expect the more hate comments. There are people who have millions of followers and they can get 10,000 hate comments a day. It doesn't matter. Okay, for me, whoever is making a hate comment without his own business to show me, without his real name to show me, without his face, from a Lu Chan from Beijing, China account, the 10th that he makes to message me, that person is inferior to me. Because if he was superior to me or if he was equal to me, he would be a bigger YouTuber than me. He would have a name, a face, and he would come to make a video in public criticizing me. That's something I respect. That's something I would respond to. Or I would say, hey, what is this person saying? Maybe he has some good points. But the people who are going to shame you, they are either real life trash or nameless, faceless haters. So again, we don't bother with inferior people. And if you say, Persephone, I'm not a narcissist, I can't classify people to inferior or superior, I'm going to tell you something. Do you want to be a traditionally mainstream good person, which is a goody to choose for me, or do you want to survive? At some point, there is going to be time for some choices. You can't have conflicting beliefs and hoping to survive. You're not going to survive. You're not going to be successful. There are some things that you have to say bye-bye to, your own limiting beliefs. One of the biggest sources of sufferings in this life, in my opinion, is our own mismatched, unrealistic expectations. That we are spoon-fed by society, and I don't understand why society says so many lies. People say, why isn't my mother loving me? And they are depressed. I used to be in this pattern for some time when I was a teenager, but my family was so extreme that I had to snap out fast because, natural selection, I would be dead. There are many parents who don't love their children. There are many friends who are not true friends. There are many countries who want you eliminated. So the more you abandon, the faster you abandon those unrealistic expectations that why, that brings you into whining mode, the less depressed you're going to be. Learning to detach when the occasion calls for it is a huge skill, not just in findom, in everything in life. And I've noticed that the people who cause the most drama in my life, the people who cause the most problems in my life are the men who are pseudo-slaves. They approach me expecting me to date them, and then they get broken when I don't date them. Although I never said that I'm going to date them. Do you know why? Because they project their own expectations and their own stupid Disney beliefs on me. They say, oh, there is this like stereotype about Russian women and sex workers that they're all like kind of pretty woman type, they need a rescuer, so I'm going to go there, the white tin man with a white mule, the shiny mule, and she's going to see me and she's going to fall in love with me, although I look nothing like Richard Gere and I'm 3 feet tall and my penis is 1 inch and I barely make $20 an hour. So you are not depressed because you are 3 feet tall and you have a penis that is 2 inches. You are depressed because you are delusional. You still believe the bullshit your mommy told you that some girl is going to love you for your golden heart when that's never going to happen. In the same way, when you're in a tough spot in life that makes you depressed, examine yourself. Do you have delusions like the guy I just described? Do you have delusions that if only you could talk to your boyfriend who is abusive, he was going to understand? If only you tried for the millionth time with your dad or your mom, they would understand. Those people, like, ditch them. They're never going to understand. And some of them, if you are really, really unlucky, like my mother-in-law level unlucky, they understand and they play dumb because they're selfish. So let's sum this video up. What you're going to do. First of all, abandon hope that things are going to be magically better. Things are going to be better only if you work for it with very dirty means, which means they lie to you and take your money, you lie to them more, take your money back and take anything else you can get from them. They tell you that to just be a goody two shoes and just obey and just do what your country is telling you and like rot in taiga and die. You're saying like, bitch, I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm here to live as much as you're here to live. Thing number 3, basic self-care. I don't care if you have $5 to buy food, you're going to buy bean and rice and nutritious food, and you're not going to buy Taco Bell and Pop-Tarts and other garbage that they're going to make you eat. Thing number 4, no more limiting beliefs about sexual shaming. Everyone is watching porn. Everyone is masturbating. Yet, there is so much stigma against the people who are making the porn. I don't understand that. Like, why don't you shame the people who are actually watching the porn and paying for the porn? Because even the people who say, Persephone, I don't pay. It's free on Pornhub. Like, how dumb are you? It's not free. You watch the ads. They make money out of the ads. Maybe it's free for you, but there is a huge business out there. And every time you watch it, you support the business. So, you're not going to be shamed over what stupid people say anymore. You're going to start being angry as fuck. You're going to be as angry as I am. You're going to say, you know, compare yourself to me. Say, you know, there is a crazy girl out there who has a revenge list. Who says, I'm going to crack people's egos so hard you're going to hear cracking sounds from her channel. So, I'm relatively normal. Okay, and my anger is justified. And one last thing. People say, what about friends? If you live like a psychopath, if you live like a psycho, if you live like a cam girl, you're not going to have friends. I have some bad news and I have some good news. The bad news is that you don't have friends anyway. If you had friends, you wouldn't be depressed. Your friends, your true friends, would have made out a plan of action to get you out of whatever terrible situation makes you depressed. They would have helped you get a job. They would have given you food. They would have helped you leave your mom's house where you're being abused. I'm talking about mom's house all the time because of my own experience. You can adjust it to your own abusive situation. So if you have friends, quote-unquote friends, like Kim's friends, the frenemy snakes, you're better off without those people anyways. Thing number 2, friendship is overvalued. You don't need friends to survive. You need money to survive. You need food and clean water to survive. So the people who are placing this huge importance, the brainwashing, the importance of friendship are just stupid, okay? Thing number 3, you can get friends easily. Once you stop living in the dumpster of toxic people, friends are going to be approaching you. I spent years isolating with 0 friends, years. Why I had 0 friends? My mother couldn't allow me friends and I was okay. Once I got out, people started approaching. There is a lot of junk, but there are a lot of diamonds. The same thing is going to happen to you. Thing number 4, if everything else fails and you need a friend, my channel is here. You can always email me your problem. If it is a specific problem and I can do something to help you, I'm going to help you. I'm always happy to help people get out of toxic situations. Okay? And if you want to tribute, when you become successful, you can tribute. Mythic Bitch tributed without even me asking her. That's why I'm saying she's one of the diamonds that I meet. She gets findom more than many of you with triple times her years get findom. Because you are entitled to my time for free. So, if you have a specific problem and you want to get out, there are people ready to help you all over the world. Okay, you're not alone and you need to start having an abundant mentality. Millions of others got out. You can get out. You can get out of mental illness. You can get out of poverty. You can get out of whatever is torturing you. Delusional problems such as I deserve a princess fairy tale type of girl to give meaning to my meaningless life. No, I can't help you with that because that's stupid and you're stupid and I'm not even sorry. Okay, thank you for watching.